All right. Well, thank you for joining us again. Now that we have the live stream stuff all figured out, Edwin will be coming back tomorrow. We're going to get another chance to talk to Edwin. I'm glad you got to see Lafayette earlier. We have Tomeka Robinson here today. She's an incredible academic and instructor and coach and all the different gambit of what somebody can be as far as a coach goes. She's also an incredible human who was the president of PKD and is now a former president of PKD. So I'm really excited to talk to you today, Tomeka. But before we get into that, I actually want to start off by going through one of our community poll questions and talking about the favorite performances of the year. So I want to talk to everybody about the favorite performances of the year. So we're going to go through the list of all the nominations because honestly, there were just so many that came up. And then there's one that I want to call out, or one thing I want to call out in particular. All right, here we go. People's favorite performances of the year. And also these are all anonymous votes. First one, Emma Newton, Poi, Minnesota State. Megan Ojeda, Poi, the final stage tournament. Ryan Gosling, pros, Age of Aquarius. Chris Russo, pros, Dairyland. Craig Hain, ADS, HFO. Teresa Estrada, DI, the Illinois State Tournament. Emma Newton's Poi, again at the Minnesota State Tournament. JaQuincy Mentor, pros, spring, Tifa Day 2. Emma Capitanali, ADS, the University of Florida or the D6 qualifier. Connor Sears, pros. Craig Hain, CA, Norton. Kelly Mwamba, poetry, HFO. Craig Hain, pros, Norton. Spencer Haisha, pros, Maffle 5-6. Tom Murabito, a DI, HFO. Craig Hain, some of these honestly are spelled wrong, so this one's funny. Craig Henwu, Poi, Illinois State Tournament. Craig Hain and Jolie Sherman, duo, state tournament. Ryan Gosling and Derek Collins, duo, ISU Back to the Nest. Craig Hain, Poi, IFA State. Hope Smothers, DI, Gone Hollywood Swing. Craig Hain, Poi, Maffle 7-8. Craig Hain and Jolie Sherman, duo, HFO. Emily Trader and Connor Sears, duo, IAFA State Tournament. Spencer Haisha, pros, Maffle 6. And Craig Hain, Poi, IAFA State. I don't know which one is the number one, but I will say that, Craig, you were brought up in 5 different events as being the best performances of the year for people. So congrats to you. An incredible year for you. All right, so let's get into Tomeka. Let's talk about it for a second. What's it like watching this experience for you?
It is absolutely surreal and amazing to see the time and effort of our students, but also just to get back into forensics and just to see these performances that I've missed. I mean, I don't get to see a lot of performances often because I'm often in tap rooms to where I can actually sit there and watch an extemp round, watch an info round, watch all of these beautiful performances. The duos this morning were just so beautiful. I just can't wait to continue watching the rest of the rounds.
All right, very cool. So before we went live, we were talking about a few things. And one of the things that I think is really impressive about Tomeka is that along with being the PKD president, or former president, she's also an academic who publishes. She's a coach who coaches. She does speech and debate. How do you balance all of that? And especially for people who are looking up to you thinking, maybe I want to be in that position someday.
So the first thing I have to say is I couldn't do it without graduate assistants. So I do have 2 graduate assistants and have had 2 graduate assistants for the last 6 years. There have been different iterations of or combinations of students. So having them assist me with getting through some of the performances and practices and stuff is invaluable as far as having time for things. But as far as research, I spend a lot of time writing during breaks. So when we're not in season, I'm collecting data so I can write throughout the year because I do have to have so many publications a year. And I also take the opportunity to write about forensics too. I mean, it's not my only research area, but I do also research the activity that we love. If I'm already here, it's something that I already love, might as well collect data in the process. So I do spend some time writing about the pedagogical values and also how can we extend what we do and just going deeper into that in addition to my health research.
Wow, that's a lot. And I'm glad that you do the smart thing of taking 2 things and putting them together so often. I think this event might be a great place to do some research to talk about it because it's never happened before. So this is pretty neat. I'm hoping to see things at NCA if I ever go back. into that fun world. But my question for you, you heard all the announcements of all the people's names. The next one that's going to come up, the next thing we're going to talk about is the favorite performance of all time. What is your favorite one performance of all time?
It's Clarence Ball's poetry from AFA, the year that he won AFA. That entire round was amazing. I mean, Jesus Velez was in net, Benu Nanawo, but Clarence Ball's performance just brought tears to my eyes, to where when I think about the beautiful performance of poetry, that's the one that stands out.
And what was his topic that year? I'm pretty sure I watched this one.
This was the one about self-love and acceptance.
Oh, okay.
And this is when he was a senior at Tennessee State University.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of the one from his junior year. But yeah, that's fantastic. Cool. And what made that one stand out for you versus all the rest?
I think it was just the emotion that was behind it. I mean, like I said, that entire round was amazing. And I just named several other people that were in that round. And it's crazy that I remember this, because I think this is probably 2008, maybe, at the University of Texas, Austin. So this is so many years past. And I still remember the look on his face when he got to the climax of that program. And I'm just like, yes, this is what this is supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm sure I was watching a different event. I was there with one student, Sarvesh Chaldanambi, that year from Miami of Ohio when I was a grad student. And Sarvesh had one event, extemp, that he qualified at the very last tournament of the year. And we went, and it was a great experience. So that was a really fun time. AFA is a beautiful place. NSC is great. NFA is great. But there's also this wonderful event called PKD, the PKD National Comprehensive Tournament. It's one that while I was coach at Northwestern, I loved taking my team to. We were always so excited about it because the culture is so different at PKD. And there were pieces of that culture that I really wanted to emulate with NSC and make sure that we could take some of that and capitalize on it, give the students that experience. Can you tell people about that culture and what makes PKD so unique?
Yeah, so first of all, we have two different types or models as far as our tournament goes. So we have our convention year, which is more of a celebration. So there's limited out rounds and debate, but we have no out rounds in individual events. Rather, we have showcases, and there's an entire formula that determines the showcases. We try to have regional diversity. We try to have, just beautiful performances from all over to really show what these events look like and our celebration of it. So that's during convention. And then we have in the off year, we have our National Comprehensive Tournament, which is a regular tournament, which has everything. And the unique thing I think about PKD is that we're the only truly comprehensive national tournament in that we have all formats of debate. And we have all formats of individual events. And we create new events sometimes because, of course, we get a little crazy. And we like to have, a true celebration of everything that we possibly can. And like I said, we participate in my team participates in a lot of other tournaments too, and other national tournaments. But PKD is our home because it allows both our speech and debate students the opportunity to really dig in and do the format of debate they love to.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I loved about bringing my students there is we'd be like, well, you have some time right now. Why don't you try public forum, right? Mm-hmm. And we had a team that made finals in public forum, and we were just like, wow, this is incredible. Where did this come from? And we had so many different people who just wanted to try stuff out. And one of the things I really love about it is I think that the combination of having a tournament one year and then having the convention the other year creates, I think, just a different philosophy where so many people have the competitive side is a little less emphasized as in some places. Although there is incredible competitors that are at the tournament and at the convention, but just when you're walking around, the things people talk about are not quite the same as they talk about at, say, AFA or NFA. And sometimes everything is going on and there's 1,000 different rooms happening and 1,000 different events. And sometimes I got a little confused, like, what is going on right now? And people, I'd be like, I don't care. Everybody's having fun. So it's just a different mindset. And it's one of the things I just love. So I just wanted to bring you on. I'm glad that you came in here to talk about that. For everybody who wants to reach out to Tomeka, I'm not going to give you her contact information, but she can put it out somewhere, maybe on Facebook if she wants to.
I can post this information on Facebook easily. Also, You can find me on Facebook.
Yeah. So Tomeka, thank you again for coming and joining us. I'm sure people have to go to watch another event that's coming up. Hopefully it's crit, and hopefully it's happening at the right time. So if you have started crit already, just go back and watch it with everybody else at 145. All right. Again, thank you, Tomeka.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.